Hello, I'm Dr. Red Bull and welcome to another unboxing. I foolishly tried to record this before, but I forgot to press the record button, and then I heard my camera go off onto standby because it wasn't in use. So yeah, it was a bit silly, but thankfully I did get to the most important part, which is actually unveiling it. I only removed the boxing. So yeah, so this is where I got up to, and I heard it go ding, thankfully. So yeah, this is another video. It's going to be two unboxings for this. I've got the RB, the 2010 car for Brazil, the RB6, and I've got the RB8 somewhere. So yeah, hopefully, I think this is right. This is going to be the RB6, the Brazilian Grand Prix, where Vettel won. It was a 1-2 for Red Bull, if I remember right. Before I say anything else, I'm going to make sure it is the Brazilian one. It's going to be brand new as well, which is cool. Here we go, Brazilian GP, Sebastian Vettel winner. Only 250,000 of them. 250, 2,500. So yeah, extremely unique, which is cool. So if I open, yeah, I got this brand new off eBay. It was on an auction. I got it for £50, which is right. Bid last minute. That's the biggest tip. Oh, here we go. What's this? Oh, I'll find out how much it actually was. How much did I buy it for? Oh, £57. That's what I got it for. Yeah, so it's not bad considering it's about, what was it, 120, 115 retail shops. So yeah, if you want to get one. And this is the bigger scale, mind you. You can get smaller ones, slightly smaller ones, and yeah, you can get it for like 20 quid, I think, off eBay, which is pretty good. I recommend getting it if your favourite team. It's a nice thing to have, I think, on your desk if you've got any money lying around. Try not to break it. So yeah, this is the RB6 in a Brazilian Grand Prix, as you can see right here. There it is. Yeah, so it's a brand new car. It's pretty cool. Sebastian Vettel won it. It essentially put him back into the title, which he then went on to go and win in the Abu Dhabi race. It was a very interesting race. I do remember bits of it. You had the youngest ever front row, I believe, with Nico Hülkenberg and Sebastian Vettel. I can't remember the combined average age of the two, but it was the youngest front row ever. Sebastian Vettel was flying off the start and took the lead, and then went on to win it. It was a 1-2 for Red Bull, and they also sealed up the Constructors' Championship, which was their first championship to win. And also, if I remember rightly, I think Jenson Button almost got kidnapped. If I remember correctly, I can't quite remember. It was before the race. That might be in the 09 season, I'm not too sure to remember. So yeah, so that's the RB6 for the Brazilian Grand Prix. That's all I remember from the race, really. It was a good win for him. It put him back in contention, like I said. 15 points behind. Although Alonso was still favourite, I think he had a lead, didn't he? He had an 8-point lead over Webber. And then you had Hamilton, who was 24 points behind, going into that final race. And with that final race being the first time ever, you had 4 different people who was eligible to win the championship. So yeah, so that's the RB6, sorry. I'm going to open up the new one, the next one. Much bigger box, actually, this one. The room's going to be full of rubbish. Here we go. It's a slightly different kind of box. but I'll tell you why in a minute. Nicely packaged. Still Minichamps. So this one was it's just the RB8, the last year's car, the last year's model. It doesn't represent any race. It's just a show car, just representing that year. So open. This is probably one of my favourite seasons. Actually, I really enjoyed this season for obvious reasons. So yeah, this is the RB8, as you can see. You can tell from like the designs from like the cars, just looking at them. There's not much difference when you think about it. You know, a few different sponsors. The way the car looks, the wing, I don't know, you got a few different. The wing does look slightly different now. The front wing, the rear wing, practically the same. Yeah, funny old world. Yeah, so this is the RB8. I forgot what you called this car actually. This year's called Heidi, isn't it? Sorry, I was just checking something. The RB8 is a very there was a huge regulation change in qualifying. Sorry, I'm thinking about this year's. There was a huge change with the exhaust system. Mainly the reason why Red Bull have been so successful, they've had a very good car, is mainly they've designed it around this exhaust. I'm not too much of a technical guru and to explain how the system works. I'm sure if I did know, I'll be working for Ferrari or something. But yeah, Red Bull, the reason why they've had such a strong car is this exhaust system which they've designed ever since the double diffuser. It practically emulates it, just relying on the exhaust gases to give them extra grip, so it just enables them to brake much later into the corners, and they've just got a little bit more air, a little bit more grip at the rear. That's the reason why the Red Bull has been so dominant the last 3-4 years. And with the 2012 season, they actually banned the reliance of this exhaust sort of systems they had, and effectively that cost Red Bull. And if anybody remembers the start of 2012, Vettel was way off the pace. I always remember the Australian race. Although he got a podium, I think, in Australia, the pace definitely wasn't there, especially one lap pace in particular. His pace was pretty good, I would say. About thereabouts with Ferrari. Ferrari were in the same boat as Red Bull as well. They didn't have a very good car in regards to one lap pace, but the race pace was cool as well. That was safe and sound, just like the RB8 was as well. Really, you had McLaren, who dominated both qualifying and the race at the start. And then yeah, you had really tough races. You had good performances from Vettel, I think. You had him get 4th place in China. I'm getting mixed up this year. No, he had a good performance in China, I'm pretty sure he did. But it was Malaysia he had a bad race. When he had that incident with one of the back markers, was it not Kovalainen, was it Carfacane? I can't remember. And he ended up out of the points, which is extremely rare nowadays with Vettel. Also, the car was very unreliable. You know, they had a lot of issues during free practice sessions, so like water problems, hydraulic leaks. Thankfully, it wasn't that sort of reliability. It wasn't too bad. It didn't cost them too much in the race, but still, it was a hindrance during the weekend. Typically, Webber had the KERS problem, always had KERS failure, and Vettel had the alternator problems. It cost him 25 points in Valencia, which then gifted Alonso the win. And then it went in Monza, where he was in a solid position. He was 6th, I think, in Monza, and he had to stop the car. Was that an alternator? Yeah, it was an alternator problem, I think, in Monza. I don't know if it was an engine failure. I can't remember, but he definitely had some sort. I think it was an alternator problem in Monza. And then Webber had a problem in Austin. In terms of reliability, it wasn't the best. Certainly McLaren get the award for being the most unreliable car that year, but Red Bull wasn't too far behind. Ferrari was definitely top of the game in terms of reliability for that season. And head-to-head with Alonso and Vettel that year was brilliant. It was a good classic racing, I thought. They weren't always wheel-to-wheel racing during the race, but sometimes one weekend it was Alonso, next it was Vettel, Alonso's Vettel. And it was a really interesting race for him. He went straight to the wire, straight to the last race of the season in Brazil, which was a fascinating race, which sadly, if you watched my last video, I had to catch up about a week later to watch the race. So ultimately, the season, but both drivers were deserving, I thought, of the title. I thought Red Bull deserved the constructors, but in terms of drivers, between Alonso and Vettel, if either of them won it, I would have been pleased. I would slightly preferred, I'm more happy that Vettel won it, because I think from a whole team point of view, I thought Red Bull just did that little bit better of a job, because they started off with a poor car, both Ferrari and Red Bull, and then I thought Red Bull made the gain. So if you think like what happened in Korea, when they got the WDRS, and that helped them up to won that pace. It wasn't quite able to be the fastest in Singapore. I think Hamilton was fastest that weekend. But yeah, so if you think of races like India, Korea, Abu Dhabi, he's very good. Spa, the WDRS really did help him to get the straight line speed sorted, and that's the main problem that season. It just gave him that extra bit more speed, get near to the front, which the Red Bull philosophy is to get near the front. The closer you are to the front, the more chance of you're going to get a winner with an RB car. Also, Vettel had a lot of adversity to overcome as well that season. You had him being chucked out of qualifying in Abu Dhabi, quite rightly. The rules were broken. He didn't have enough fuel, so you had to start from the back. It was a tremendous race. People always say it was his best race he's ever had for Red Bull, and in that season in particular. But I always go with Spa. Actually, I thought that was a much better race from Vettel when he worked his way through the field. Didn't quite win it, but he got second. But back to Abu Dhabi, that was a fantastic race, because you had all the fast, you had all the protagonists at the front. I think it was only Hamilton who retired due to reliability. Of course, Spa, you had the Grosjean antics, so that did kind of help him out, because it weakened up the front runners. You didn't have really fast cars at the front, although there were still quite a bit. With Abu Dhabi, he had to work his way through the field with cars which had generally quick pace. For sure, the one safety car did help him out, but another safety car hindered him, I believe. So he had a lot of adversity that season, again with the reliability problems in Monza and Valencia. But I always said that kind of evened it out with Alonso, because Alonso got taken out in Spa by Grosjean, and in Japan he got it was sort of like a knock-on effect, wasn't it, with Grosjean, Webber, Alonso. So yeah, I always thought in terms of like when they lost points, it kind of evened itself out with the two reliability problems and Alonso's first lap incidents. So I always disregard that when people make that argument and said, oh, well, Alonso got taken out. If Alonso didn't get taken out, he would have won it. And then I always say, well, if Vettel didn't have the alternate problems, then he would definitely won it. So yeah, so it was definitely a brilliant season. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it. It's really entertaining races. And I thought, as I said back to end the video, as a whole, I thought Red Bull did deserve it as a team, because they really did develop the car. It did get faster and faster and faster. But I just felt with Ferrari, it was one step forward one weekend, and there was a step back, step forward, and a step back. So I thought ultimately, as a team point of view, Vettel and Red Bull did deserve the accolade of both championships in 2012.